Hi everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video, which is one of the Patreon soap design challenges that I run over on my Patreon page. Each month I ask my members at the $5 and $10 level to give me a suggestion for a particular criteria of an ingredient to add into soap. For this month I asked them to name either a fruit or a vegetable that they'd like to see me use. I'd make the video and I also give them a little bit of information about how to incorporate that ingredient into the soap. Now for this month I put everyone's name into a jug and I drew out the winner, who was Katherine, who is a fellow Aussie. She doesn't yet have her own business, but I will be sure to update this if she does. And she asked if I could use apple in a soap. Now I was pretty excited about this one because I just discovered a new fragrance oil company here in Australia. Well, they're new to me. They're called the Fragrance Garden, and they're an Aussie company who get their fragrance oils made here in Australia, and I decided to give them a go, and I got in this amazing green apple fragrance oil, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use it. Let's go and see how I make the green apple blast soap. Let's go. Okay, so let's get on to making this soap. I've got my lye water and I have got my oils, and they're both at room temperature. Now with my lye water, I am sticking to soaping using my 32% water of oil weight, and that is because the apple puree that I'm going to be putting into this has got the sugars in there which can accelerate trace. So I want to keep my water or sort of liquid content as high as possible. When I'm soaping at 32% water of oil weight, full percentage is generally accepted to be at 38%, so that gives me a leeway of 6% of extra liquids I can add in. So I worked out, so I didn't go to full water, I worked out what 3% of my oil weight was and got 54 grams for my particular batch, and that is what I am using as my apple. So with that extra 3% and this one, that means I'm actually soaping at 35% of liquid to my oil weight. So we should get hopefully a nice slow moving soap with this one. We will wait and see. So I'm just going to put my apple puree straight in here. Now I have cheated this time. I have actually bought my apple puree because I simply ran out of time to make my own. But most baby food that you find, it is 100% apple. If you want to use your own fresh apples, all you need to do is boil them down with a bit of water and then blitz them with a stick blender. So we've got our apple in there. I'm going to give it a quick mix just to get it all combined, and then I'm going to pour in my lye water. Then we'll split it off for a little bit of colour. Okay, so we're mixed up to emulsion. I'm going to split it up for my colours, and I have a little bit of elusive and a little bit of lime spider, which we're going to separate out into, and then pour some titanium dioxide in here. One of the advantages I do find of using the kids' puree food as opposed to using your own pureed fruits is that it is a lot smoother, and you can be guaranteed that it is going to mix into your soap mix a lot better than if you are making it yourself. I have done my own apple purees in the past, and I have ended up with chunks of apple which didn't quite blend up, and then you end up with chunks of apple in your soap, and that is where the problems can come from. Using apple purees and things in your soap is perfectly fine as long as you've got it completely and utterly blended through, and the pH of it will help protect your soap from mold and bacteria. So let's get these colours mixed in. For my fragrance today, I've got some green apple, and this has come from a supplier called the Fragrance Garden, and they came up one day when I was searching for some other things, and they're an Australian company, and they have got on there that they're using Australian made fragrance oils, ones that they've had made. They're not an on-seller of some of our bigger brands here, and I got in a few of their fragrances, and oh wow, they are amazing. I was once told to get Green Apple Explosion in from Nature's Garden, and I will admit I was a bit underwhelmed by it. Didn't think it smelled very good, and I wasn't sure what to expect from out of this this particular fragrance, and it is absolutely amazing. It is so loaded with the smell of green apple. It's really, really strong, and I did actually make my embeds using it, so I know it does behave really well. I got in a few other fragrances as well from this place, and they all smell so good, and I have soaped with a few of them as well, and they are behaving well so far, especially the ones that generally do lose their fragrance or their smell in soap. I got in some gingerbread, and I've made some little gingerbread men with them, and they're smelling so good already. Last time I used a gingerbread fragrance, it did actually fade out, but this time around it is holding, and this green apple, it just smells so good. I'll leave a link for those Aussies who are interested in the fragrance garden. They've got some beautiful fragrances listed on there, and at really good prices as well, and the order came super quick. Let's get this one mixed in. So we're going to do a simple drop pour into our mold, but first of all I'm going to do it in the pot with these two greens. This is something I've taken to doing an awful lot of lately, just pouring one amount of that green into the one side of the jug. We'll grab our mold, and let's pour in a bit of this white first of all, and then we'll pour in the green and then the rest of this white. Okay, so these are our little embeds. We have some little apples, we've got some whole apples and some little halves, and I've just made those using some soap dough. And every soap, I think we're going to go on the one side here, is going to get a whole and a half little apple, like so. Okay, so there it is. There is the green apple soap. It is smelling absolutely amazing, and I'm loving how cute those little apples are on there. Gonna leave this one set up overnight, and we will be back very shortly. We'll cut it open and we'll see what we've got on the inside. Alright, so we're here to cut into our green apple blast, and I'm absolutely loving it. This top is so shiny and sparkly. It smells absolutely amazing. It's the first time I've actually had a green apple or an apple fragrance that really does smell just this strong. The last one I did with apple in the champagne apple and honey, that smells really, really good, but and you do get the apple, but you get all the other notes as well. This one is just apple, and it's beautiful. I have managed to miss all those little apples on the top. Let's go thunk, and then we'll take a look. So let's grab one of these from out of the middle, and we've got some beautiful curly whirly swirls in that one. I still haven't worked out how to get those curly whirlies. They just seem to happen in all of my soaps. So there is another one there, but I do absolutely love them. Look at all those curls and wisps. I just think they are the most amazing swirls to get in our soap designs. And those two little apples on the top, so super cute. Really, really loving how this one has come together. Let's grab that one there. So we still have some curls and wisps, none of the tight curly whirlies, but that is still really, really pretty there. I'm always interested to see the end pieces because I do like to try and get the colour down there, but it is so hard to get colour into our end pieces of soap. Let's grab one from down here as well. Ooh, that's I'll show you the other side because that's really pretty as well. There's another big curly whirly in there. So I was just putting this one away, and I don't know if the camera actually picked it up because I didn't notice it, but I can now see we've got a bit of a discoloration ring around the very edge of here. It's got this kind of rosy tinge to it, so I'm really hoping that it's not going to discolor too badly. If it does get that sort of rosy tinge, I'm not going to be too upset about that because it could be red apples, but we'll have to wait and see. If you want to know how badly this one is going to discolor, come and follow along with me over on Instagram, and I'll post pictures of this one when it is finally ready. So I hope you've enjoyed watching how I made my green apple blast. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below, and until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one. I'll see you then. Bye.